Most people think they get overlooked because they aren't natural leaders. That's a lie. The truth is, your social foundation is cracked, and no amount of confidence hacks will fix it. We're going under the hood today for a phase 1 structural audit to help you rebuild your presence from the ground up. Let's get into it. So, we're talking about this idea of being the social architect of our communication and really taking the power in our own hands and thinking about how we can change the way we show up in social interaction and working on things like communication, charisma, being intentional about what we want to do. If you think about presence, it's something that you actually can build. Some people, sure, are born with it. They're born with perfect communication, whatever that looks like to you. They're born with great storytelling skills. Like sometimes that's just an innate thing that we see with certain individuals. But most of the time, this is something that we all have to work on and all kind of have to think about deliberately building ourselves. And we're really trying to think about what does our foundation look like, because that's how we're going to create a blueprint for really great, strong, insightful communication. And if you think about some of the adjectives that you want to exhibit this year, I wouldn't choose more than 3, and then we can backtrack from there. In other words, you choose 3 things, areas of your focal points, and then from there we think about, okay, how do I get from where I am right now to those 3 kind of aspirational words that I'm looking for. So we're thinking about, as we're standing at a construction site, like walking the land, taking measurements, studying the conditions of the soil, if there needs to be any like further foundational, any infrastructure that needs to be built. So that's really what we're looking at for the first phase of this. In terms of the mindset we want to have, it's okay, we're not going to perform, rather, we're going to observe and map out what we want to build. So you're making sure that you're understanding the baseline first. What do we currently see ourselves doing? And this requires a lot of introspection, right? Because without taking a moment to reflect on the past year, we don't know how to move forward necessarily. So we want to think about, what have I been doing last year? What are some of the highs from my communication, the outcomes, whether that be in work, networking, or in our personal day-to-day social interactions, looking at our relationships, looking at our friendships, and going from there. What's working? What seems like it could use a couple of tweaks and benefit from that? And then really thinking about every structural choice we make has a function, has a purpose. So it's nothing is just like on a whim. It's actually carefully curated and designed to say, in my personal life and in my professional life, I'm going to have a clear roadmap because I know my baseline. And having high impact presence is more than a gift, right? It's really about infrastructure, putting in the pillars, putting in the infrastructure that we need to move. So, what does it mean to define your social signature? So, it's really about thinking about, you're not trying to be the same person in every social setting. You're going to have a core structural identity that is malleable, like a chameleon. You don't change from a chameleon to a completely different animal per se, but you morph and you camouflage depending on what kind of the situation is calling for. So being composed, being able to, let's say these are my three words. Let's say I chose composed, decisive, and insightful. Let's say this is what I want to do this year. Think about, okay, what does the composed aspect look like? Is it physical stillness? Is it the controlled breathing? Is it measured pacing? Is it something else entirely? What does that look like for me? And what am I already doing that is composed? Do I see any examples from my previous communication events and speech acts and communication outcomes where I've seen that I was composed? Maybe there was like a heated argument at work, but I was the one that was really able to keep it together and say, let's take a timeout. Or maybe I served as a mediator when somebody was starting to get too out of hand or the tension was rising. And then let's say decisive is my other adjective. If I want to become better at decision making, what does that look like? Where have I made decisions that I didn't have to deliberate over them or second guess myself? So you're looking for examples and then trying to figure out in order to exhibit this behavior, what do I need to do? And what have I already done? And then let's say my third adjective is insightful. What does that mean? Okay, so maybe active listening, maybe having some thoughtful synthesis instead of reacting. I'm responding. And then thinking about perspective, not just regurgitating information. I'm not trying to impress people by what I'm saying. I'm really trying to contribute a perspective that maybe wasn't very apparent. So then you come up with your archetype. So for these three words, the archetype could be the calm authority, right? Somebody who commands respect, but it's not through force or volume, but it's being centered, it's having clear convictions, it's meaningfully contributing. So essentially, you're choosing your three adjectives, right? Thinking about what kind of archetype you're looking for, and then creating that archetype. Or inversely, you can choose the archetype and then distill it into three, not six, but three adjectives. And this will be your social signature. So we'll work on that today in this call. So start thinking about what that looks like for you. What is that going to entail? And then this is what we're going to practice over the next few days. I want you to really hone in on your communication patterns. It's not about judging yourself. It's not about beating yourself up over past mistakes or the trials and tribulations of years before. You want to have a detached, composed, and compassionate way of looking back on your communication these last few months, last year, or even in the last few days. It's been a good week of the new year. So you have some stuff to work with here, right? We all do. So you want to think about your physical baseline, your vocal patterns, and your social dynamics. Along these three dimensions are what we're going to be playing around with our communication audit. So don't worry about having this presentation. You'll have it in the notes after we have the call. But these are some of the things I want you to start thinking about. How can you audit your communication? Because again, you can't move forward we have to be a little bit analytical here with what we want to achieve. And then let's look at our structural leak, right? What are the moments where we have leaks where it's like pretty porous and we need to figure out why? We have to how to stop that leak. So when your pillar, let's say, right, we have these three pillars. These are just examples, just ones that I've chosen as an example: composed, decisive, and insightful. What do you want to look for? So you're looking for stillness and breath and centeredness. Oh, am I forgetting to do these things? Okay. And if I do, what does that lead to? Maybe it's like reactive moments. Maybe I'm speaking too fast. Maybe my pitch isn't exactly where I want it to be. I want it to be more calm under pressure. Maybe it's like too much just animation. Where do we feel our tension? These kinds of things. Decisiveness, instead of the I'm not sure, but, or maybe we can, and all that hedging. You can think about finality in sentences, lowering my tone at the end of a sentence, pausing, letting there be room for silence, and not ruminating over a decision and saying, oh, I wish I did that, or why didn't I do that? Having these kind of like the inner critic really coming to surface. And then insightful, instead of giving these bland, cliched responses, that's interesting, great point, really honing in and digging deeper beneath the surface, things like that. So we're backtracking here and we're looking for those leaks, because that's where it's good. Those are the gives, right? The giveaways where we're not doing what we hope to be with our new foundation that we're setting, the pillars that we're establishing. And so the audit question that I challenge you to ask yourselves are, did that exchange, did that social interaction strengthen or leak authority from my three key pillars? And I really want you to be honest with yourselves here, because if we're not honest with ourselves, then what are we doing? And then really thinking about what went wrong. Why wasn't I able to stop that leak? Or how did I stop that leak? And how am I going to be able to do that again? Because that was great. Okay. And then lastly, we know that context is essential. Being aware of the context in communication, and that lends itself to our various kind of hats that we want to wear in communication, right? We're still at the center, at the core, we're the archetype that we're creating for ourselves, but we have that flexibility, that wiggle room to wear different hats, so to speak, to have those different layers as a chameleon, and being able to slightly change the way we interact depending on what the situation calls for. A more formal dinner versus a barbecue, or a meeting versus a networking reception. You get the idea. So thinking about the 3 rooms that we are in. So looking back to 2025, right? We're thinking, okay, where did I show up the most? What were those rooms? Was it the professional room where you were in the executive boardroom? Let's say your social room. So we have 3: the professional room, the social room, and the personal room. We all have these. Within those, thinking about what were the kind of like the pinnacle examples of those, like the where you spent the most time, in other words. So the executive boardroom would be the professional room, let's say. And then, who needs to see you at your most authoritative as that person? What decisions or opportunities hinge on how you show up in these high stakes, high risk professional contexts? And then you want to define that specific environment and then what impression you're hoping to make. And then for your social room, let's say it's networking events. So, building strategic relationships, expanding your network, expanding your outreach and your influence. These are other ways that we can think about where we want to show up and how we want to show up. And then lastly, maybe the personal room, the way you want to show up is, the examples are the meaningful family and friend connections, where it's more than small talk. It's more than just trying to make a lot of friends. It's more like honing in on the friends you have and making really strong friendships, and how you show up for these people. So then the prompt would be here in order to figure out what rooms, mapping our rooms, who do you need to be in these rooms to achieve your goals for 2026? Who do you want to show up as? And again, keeping in mind that overarching theme, that archetype that you're creating for yourself. And then be as specific as you can with your descriptions, right? So not vague, aspirational things like, I want to be confident, or I want to be respected by my peers or my managers. But you want to have them be really concrete, because it's going to be much easier to achieve the goals that you're setting for yourself. For example, it could be behavioral indicators that you're setting for yourself. I want to be the person who speaks last in meetings, but whose opinion carries the most weight. Or I am going to be the connector who makes introductions that create lasting value for others, and that I'll be remembered for years to come and have a stronger connection and network because of it. And that way, these are concrete benchmarks and indicators, behavioral indicators that are going to help us hone in on that archetype. Is all of this making sense to you?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, great. We'll talk more about it when we get to yours. So then, in terms of like how we check in, these micro exercises are going to help us figure out how are we going to start small and practice daily. So these are incremental and we're building upon them. Don't try to do all of these simultaneously, because that's just going to be cognition overload. I'd rather you just spend a couple of maybe 10 minutes a day on just like the what or just the why. So the stillness test. So we're figuring out, okay, if I want to show myself as composed, stillness is a big part of that. So keeping your hands still without moving, just as an exercise, just as if this were your goal, right? If composed was one of the adjectives that you had for yourself. And then thinking about why. Okay, maybe excessive movement is distracting from my message. Maybe it's distracting me, or not. Maybe it's actually adding something. So you're trying to think about how it's going, what's the impact of this? So you want to ask what, why, and how. And then the final period at the end of it, again, these exercises are based on those 3 adjectives that I originally shared, right? So they're going to look a little bit different based on what you've chosen. And so just think about 1 per week, 1 per week. But we'll talk more about what your specific exercises could look like. And then it could even be these based on what you've chosen for yourself. So the other one is for the 2-second gap. Maybe you just count silently before responding. So it gives you thinking time. It gives your interlocutors time to process the information. And at the end of the month, you're going to feel much more confident about these adjectives because you've started to integrate them, and they won't feel forced so much as they'll feel just part of a new structural baseline. So we're going to take an oath here. I will not leave my reputation to the interpretation of others. I will design it with intention, build it with precision, and maintain it with discipline, right? You don't get to be defined by others. You define yourself. You write your story. You define your communication. And that's taking the power back if you feel like you've given it away. So we really want to think about how we can design with intention. We're going to build with precision and maintain with discipline. So it's not, okay, come time the end of January, and now I've just decided to throw these adjectives and this archetype out the window. No, we really want to carry it throughout the year and maintain it, be disciplined about it. Just like you have habits, maybe new habits or habits you've had for years, you want to maintain that. Just because you've worked out doesn't mean you're going to stop working out. You're going to continue working out. Just because you've decided to read a book a month doesn't mean you're going to stop that now that you've achieved your goal. We really want to create that strong foundation so that it just becomes second nature and it's no longer a stressor, right? So we're going to build something amazing. I know we will. And I'm really excited to hear from you and what are some of the adjectives you're thinking about for your pillars, for your infrastructure. And let's just get the conversation going. And the adjectives you choose today or this week don't have to be the final ones, right? We can always revisit them. We can go back to the drawing board. But just think about today, what are the 3 ones you're thinking about? And that might change. It's an iterative process. So don't feel like you have to be married to your 3 adjectives today. Just let's start getting the ball rolling instead of thinking just like putting it off, because that's not going to serve its purpose. We rather just start from somewhere. So why don't we work on these archetypes? I'd love for you to think about the archetype and then give your 3 adjectives. And don't worry about it's not the final version. Let's keep working on it. Let's just see what we can create from it. And then think about like those exercises. Okay, how do you exhibit that characteristic or use that tool? And then thinking about what kind of exercise would work for this behavior, essentially. And then, share the YouTube, share the whatevers, and we're here to grow and all the things.